I'm Susan Roberti, and welcome to Let's Talk Tail Waggers. I have lovely guests today, going to learn so much. But before we get started, I would like to say thank you to my camera person. Thank you, Carl. You know, BPTV is all volunteers, and you are more than welcome to come up, learn how to do cameras, help in the office, go out in the field with us, or if you're really brave, maybe you would like to do a show. But you're always welcome here, and like I always say and always will, it's the sweetest little corner of the world. So now, Susie Smith's here.
I'm always here. I always show up. Thank you for inviting me to be on your show
Pets
today.
for Vets.
Yes, Susie and I have been working on a program for the last 3 years. We worked on it. We raised close to $30,000 for the Washington Area Humane Society for a veterans fund that we started. And if you're a local veteran in this area, you can go right down to the Washington Area Humane Society and adopt at no charge. And all the animals are spayed, neutered, up to date on shots, and socialized and defleed. So
Ready to go home.
Ready to go. If you're a veteran, just go on down and Merry Christmas.
Yes.
From us.
And we have a veterinarian with us today. Your name is, dear?
Dr. Christine Gunther.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I've been in Pittsburgh for 4.
Wow. And what was it like to go to school for all those years? You know, there's a lot of people don't know how long you guys have to go to school.
It's about the same as human doctors, so we have 4 years of medical school, and then I specialized in critical care and emergency medicine, so I had a 4-year residency after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you that's exciting. Huh?
It is. I love it. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I bet you do too. This young lady is...
This is one of my ICU nurses, Maureen O'Carroll.
And she can't talk today. She is on Chinese. So she's going to be our smiler girl today.
Oh, good. We need one of those.
Yeah, we need a smiler girl. So what are we here today to talk about, Doctor?
We're here to talk about our blood bank. Our blood bank, it's called the Rogan Rexford Blood Bank. I'll talk a little more about the meaning behind the name. But basically, in veterinary medicine, just like in human medicine, animals need blood transfusions. And there's a couple of different ways we can get blood. One is to buy them from commercial blood banks, where they have donors that live in-house and we order blood and they come in. The other way is to have local donors, kind of like you go down to the Red Cross and you walk in, you donate blood, you get some pizza afterwards, you feel good, you get a little snack. Same with our local donors for dogs. They come in and donate blood, and that blood helps save another dog's life.
You know, I never ever gave that a thought.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
And I've had animals always, but they've never had to have that happen.
Well, I'm glad.
You know, me too.
Very good.
But when I heard about you, and I thought, my Lord, this is something that I know my fans will really like to learn.
It's a big need. In 2013, our hospital used 700 units of blood in just 1 year. So it's a huge need.
So you're in critical care, and are you saying, like, when animals come in hit by cars or something, they need blood, and you have it right there?
Yeah, the main reasons we need to give a dog or a cat even blood transfusions: trauma, certainly from being hit by a car, dogs fight sometimes, things like that. Dogs with cancer often need blood transfusions while they're undergoing therapy.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
And then there's dogs get an autoimmune disease which can destroy their red blood cells and platelets, and while we're trying to get that under control, that's a big use of blood products in our hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is the uniquest. I had, not last show, the show before, I had a doctor here that is a chiropractor. And he said all of a sudden one day it just came to him to do animals. And he went to school for so very long to learn that, you know. And he was a wonderful guest. But he was just telling us about stories about the animals that he's really helped by straightening them. And I never ever gave that a thought,
Right.
you know.
Most of the things we do are also done in human medicine as well.
Wow.
There's different
Wow.
specialties, and chiropractor, acupuncture, blood transfusions, all that.
What differs from dog's blood and people's blood? What's the difference?
The big difference is the proteins that are on the red blood cells, and that's where we get our blood types. And so in dogs, they name them a little bit different. It's called dog erythrocyte antigen, or DEA. There's a whole bunch of subtypes, but the one that's important is a protein called 1.1. So if dogs are either positive or negative for 1.1. The two donors that are here are both negative dogs. And about 50% of the dog population is positive, 50% is negative.
Wow.
And so you have to, blood type to get the right blood. Otherwise, you could have a transfusion reaction.
Oh, so they have different blood types just like people
Just
do?
like people.
Wow.
And cats
That's
as well.
amazing. Oh.
And kitty cats
Kitty
too.
cats too.
And probably birdies.
Oh, probably the birds too,
Yeah,
then, right?
we don't really do transfusions in birds,
Yeah,
but
yeah, well, she has her birdies.
Yeah, I
So-
have birds.
Yeah, they're probably special too.
Mhm.
What else would you like? Because I just am so fascinated with this. What else would you like everyone that's watching learn?
well, certainly we do rely on donors, voluntary donors to come in. Like I said, we went through 700 units of blood in this past year, so the more donors we have, the more opportunity we have to.
Oh, I see. So you're asking maybe for people to
Absolutely.
come in and donate with their dogs?
And just like people, there's age requirements, there's weight requirements, so you have to be at least 1 year of age. You have to be up to date on all your vaccines. You have to be, the high limit of the age is 8. You have to weigh at least 50 pounds because we take a certain amount of blood, and if you're under
Yeah,
50 pounds,
that would
that's
be
too
hard.
much.
Yeah.
And eating healthy.
How long can a dog do that? Like if, I wanted one of my dogs to give blood, like how often could you do that?
Every 8 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yep,
That
every-
often? It
Wow.
builds
That
back
often.
up?
Typically, our donors run on about a 3-month schedule, but we can bleed them as much as every.
And
8
how long
weeks.
does that take? I mean, to do the.
The actual process takes about 5 to 8 minutes. It's kind of like when you go into the Red Cross and you sit in your chair and you squeeze your ball, and then you have to wait for the bag to fill up. And so that's what happens with these guys as well.
Somebody's wagging.
I know, it's very exciting.
Somebody's
very
excited.
exciting.
So happy,
exciting.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Aw.
precious. Look how pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, both of those, your guys have been blood donors?
Yes, Smeagol is now retired. She's 10 years old now. She retired last year. And Darcy is a current blood donor. She started at the age of 1. And she's already donated a gallon of blood.
Wow.
So she
Wow.
hit that mile mark.
See, there's people say they don't want to go down and be at the Humane Society because it hurts them, to see the dogs in cages and all that kind of stuff. But as all the years I've been doing this, I still find something that someone maybe could do if you want to help, help with the pets. And that would be something that wouldn't take a lifetime or all day, or just take a visit down, and they'd give their blood, and you can go home and say, "Wow."
Yep. It's pretty easy to do. Basically, you just call and set up an appointment. The first appointment's a screening appointment, so a doctor will do an exam on your dog. We ask you a bunch of questions about their health, and then we run free blood work. So they get free chemistry, a CBC, tested for tick disease, tested for babesia and heartworm. And if they pass all of that, then they're put on the list to be called in. All of our donations are done on Saturdays. You make an appointment, you come in, your dog is blood, you leave with a little gift bag and our thanks, because it is something we rely on to keep our other pets healthy.
Now,
Yeah.
that is really a gift. That is something, if somebody's looking, like you said, to do something, and you have a healthy big dog, why not, let him
Absolutely.
donate some blood and help another animal live?
Because
Absolutely.
if the dog would be frightened, but you're trained,
Right.
professionals, to get them to get used to that and not to be so frightened.
And that's part of our screening protocol, because it's one thing, because I can say, I want to go donate some blood today. This is a choice that I made. And with dogs, we have to kind of be their advocate. So we don't want dogs that are afraid to come to the hospital, that don't like to be restrained. It has to be a dog that's a good temperament and doesn't mind being there.
Tail wagger.
Tail wagger, exactly. And it's funny, some of them that come in, like Darcy, they get, after they donate, they get a treat, like canned food or something.
And then they remember.
And she's so excited during her whole donation because she knows at the end she gets canned food, which she never gets at home. So.
Yeah, well, see, and they never forget that.
Right.
Ever, ever, ever.
So it's a big treat.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
big
So
treat.
it's something special.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I do have a friend that I believe it was at your hospital that his dog did donate blood a couple times that he was telling me, but he never realized it either until his dog had surgery and they needed blood, and then he realized that they needed to pay back.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's how we get, a lot of our donors are part of the program now because they had another dog that needed a transfusion and then they learned.
That's totally amazing.
The other good thing about our program is that 100% of the profits from the blood bank are donated to the Animal Care and Assistance Fund. So by bringing in your dog for a donation, you're helping in two ways. One, you're giving blood to save a dog's life, but the other, the money from the blood that's sold goes to Animal Care and Assistance Fund. It helps people afford veterinary care.
Wow.
So it's two parts to this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a hard winner there.
you lucked out having you
yeah.
on. You lucked out having her on the show today because now people don't know. They
Right.
don't realize. Now they know that they can help too.
That is a true gift. Truly.
Just look at those. Look
Yeah.
how sweet. Oh.
I know. They always like to be on TV.
I'm taking
the
Spotty
dogs.
one home after the show. Smeagol.
Everybody wants Smeagol. Huh?
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Smeagol.
Yeah.
But they're in love with Maureen. Maureen? Yeah, they're in love with Maureen,
Yeah.
you can tell.
And so what else? I'm just going to pick your brain.
I'm
You
trying
have a
to
lot
think
of
what
doctors
else.
up there, don't you?
Oh,
do.
yeah. I was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I was just
Yeah.
thinking
I was
about
going
that.
to just say that. How many doctors do you have there?
38.
And what is the name of your hospital?
Pittsburgh Veterinary Specialty and Emergency Center. We have close to 50 doctors now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have every specialty. So if any, whatever's wrong with your pet, we can likely help you with it. So.
I never realized that we had a facility that big.
Mhm.
And you're on Camp Horn Road, is that where it's
Yes.
located?
That's where it's located, yeah.
Is that hard to get to, or is
No.
it by something that people listening might recognize?
It's right off of 279,
Mhm.
exit 8.
That's good to know. I've been there.
Yeah.
And I was mentioning before, on the morning of my dad's memorial service, we had an emergency at home. My little hound dog, Hoppy, he's not really little, he's 80 pounds, but he collapsed. He's a rock eater. And he's outgrown it, luckily. He's 3 now. We've really worked with him. But on the day of my dad's memorial service, he ate a rock and collapsed, and it was stuck, and we had to rush to your place. And you guys took care of him, and we were on our way, and we made it to the service on time. And
Good.
Wow.
but it had gone through his system and just kind of stuck in there.
Oh, poor guy.
You were able to get it out, so we were.
Oh, they
Oh.
get into things.
They do. This one.
Ah.
Two surgeries so far.
Really?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, don't
I
wag your
noticed she
tail.
has
It's-
something with the side of her mouth. What is that?
She came in as a stray. They found her on the north side somewhere on the street. The police nicely picked her
course.
up. She'd been hit by a car. Her jaw fracture was old and it had already healed, but it healed crooked. And she also had a broken leg.
oh.
And so I adopted her and we got her fixed up. And
Fixed up good.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
she
so
knows that you helped her too.
She
They
does. She's my baby.
do. Yeah, they do.
So you say one of your dogs, which one donated a gallon of blood so far?
Darcy's donated a gallon of blood so far.
And how much do you, for a lifetime of donating, how much would you?
Well, you can
Say sure.
donate. So each donation we take it's about a pint. It's 450 milliliters, so it's about a
Okay.
pint of blood. And if they can donate every 8 weeks, that's 4 to 6 times a year. So
And it doesn't hurt the dog at all to
Nope.
do that?
Nope, it doesn't. And every time they come in to donate, there's a questionnaire the owner fills out. We ask them, how are they feeling? And sometimes they're like, well, they were a little off last night. They vomited, had some diarrhea, and we'll reschedule you. If you're not feeling
Yeah.
100%,
Right.
we don't want you to have to give blood.
And
that
you don't
day.
have to do it that often.
No,
I mean,
you don't.
You can go down once or twice a year, but it's still a blessed gift
Right.
because it does such wonderful things.
Yeah,
Oh, my
it
Lord.
really helps. It really helps other dogs.
What else? She's sitting over there. She can't.
Can't talk. You just want to say something, don't you?
So when we take a donation from a dog, it's 450 milliliters, and then that can potentially be processed into 4 separate units. So one donation can help up to 4 different dogs.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So-
amazing.
Yeah, because we process it down. We separate the red cells from the plasma, and use the different components to treat different diseases. So one donation can help a bunch of different dogs.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
exciting.
thankful that you came today so that we can learn all this. It's really an eye-opener.
Yeah.
It's not something that you really think about
Ever.
unless you've gone through surgery
Yeah.
with your pet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully, if people are interested, they can contact us and get signed up to have their dogs be a blood donor.
Oh,
Well,
It's
now
a-
that
it's
would
a
be
nice
an
thing.
excellent Christmas gift
yes.
Yes.
for someone who has an ailing dog.
We have 148 registered donors right now.
Oh.
Wow.
And 38 cats.
Now, when they register to be a donor, are they on a schedule? Should they come in like at a certain time every
We
so-
call them. So once they pass their screening, Jessica, who's our coordinator, calls them and sets up an appointment on a Saturday. So it can be as frequently as every 8 weeks, but usually it's every 12 weeks. We're asking you to come in. If you can't, you can't. If you
Yeah.
can, you can.
Jeez, that's not
Every
bad.
little bit helps.
Every little bit.
And kitty cats, that's the same? The blood, you get 4 different?
No, kitty cats, it's because of its very small volume, it's harder to separate. So with the kitty cats, we call it whole blood. We don't separate it into components.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs are the majority, probably 80% of our transfusions in the hospital are in dogs and only 20% are in cats.
I guess they get into more trouble.
Dogs get into more trouble for sure. Yeah.
Is it true that greyhounds have?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking. No, you asked. We were talking about that the other night. What was it? We were.
The greyhounds have the blood that all dogs can use. You don't have to worry about, being
Certain type.
a certain type, or is that just a fantasy?
That's a fantasy. They're
Yeah.
negative
Somebody
and
told us
positive
that,
with the
yeah.
same
Yeah,
frequency
yeah.
as greyhounds make excellent donors. Though they're just such gentle dogs. They're a good size.
Yeah.
They typically have good veins.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of. We've worked closely with a lot of the local greyhound groups, and they've been wonderful registering their dogs as donors. So they're one of my favorite dogs to come in on donation
Because we
they're
always
just so
hear about
easy.
the greyhounds, donating. That's why somebody had told us
Yeah,
that.
I-
We were wondering.
I don't
Yeah.
know where I heard that, but I know that was told to me. And
Yeah.
I thought, and today I thought, oh, she'll be bringing greyhounds because their blood they can use for any dog. And then guess who come in the door? The 2 cuties.
The 2
Huh.
cuties.
Aw.
Say, we don't care.
You have any pet peeves being a veterinarian?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, it's nice you're here today, boy. You're hot on the money today.
I always wonder about that. I always ask my vet, like, what do you hear a lot that just you'd like to, tell people, please don't do that, or.
Probably my biggest pet peeve is, and certainly, especially veterinary care is expensive, and no one can plan for your dog running out of the house by accident, getting hit by a car, and having to put a lot of money into it. But basic veterinary care, if you're going to go out and buy a puppy, you need to plan and get pet insurance. If you get it as a puppy, it's going to pay for itself because
And there is insurance, folks.
yeah, there is. And-
They've finally developed because it is getting to be thousands of dollars. I mean, really.
I mean, you have one emergency trip to the veterinary hospital, you've paid for your insurance.
Yeah, it's
So-
very, very true.
But you have to get it as a puppy because once they develop pre-existing conditions,
Yeah.
they're not going to cover that sort of thing anymore. So you get a new puppy, just get the pet insurance.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And
We got care credit. Care credit. Do you take that? At
Oh,
your
absolutely. Yeah.
And I found that that was really helpful, with our older guys and that, because you can pay on time. You can
Right.
use the card and pay on time. So that's another option. But
we got two little kittens, and when we got them, we got the pet insurance.
Oh, good.
Because
Yeah.
it was with the other one, we had one that had a $1,000 tow.
oh,
It's an expensive toe.
Yeah. And where we took it, when it got hurt, they said that they, had fixed it and did this and whatever. And when we took him home, and he just didn't get better. So we took him down to the vet that we go to, because it was at night, of course, and we took him down to our vet, and he said, well, why did you wait so long to bring him down here? And I said, we didn't. We took him a week ago. And the doctor said that he did this and did this. And he said, nobody did anything to this cat's toe. And they had to nip off, put him to sleep and nip off, a piece of it. But then you learn, wow.
Right.
Because I've been very, very lucky through all the dogs and kitty cats that I've had, that they've always stayed healthy, and you didn't have to spend thousands of dollars. Of course, that was back in the day,
Right.
and now today it's really expensive.
It is.
And
It is.
if you're going to get a puppy, I tell everyone, please read about having a puppy. And yes, the puppy will chew, and yes, the puppy will scratch you. If you're going to get a kitten, the kitten is going to scratch you. These are things that I hear from people. Oh, I got a little kitten and it just scratched me, just scratched my hand off, and I'm like, So I've tried over the years, to get people to do that. Now, you must know that it's important to get insurance, because it does cost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if they have an allergy, or they get the skin disease or something,
Sure.
then it
Yep.
just
wow.
like people.
The special food and everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that you have to have. And they are a very, very big responsibility.
Yep.
But the rewards that you get from them make it like it never even happens,
Yeah. They're part of your family.
Yeah, if you have to go with that, you go with that, so that the baby gets taken care of, because it's wonderful.
Well, I just think it's wonderful that you dedicate your life to animals.
Oh,
Best job ever.
Yeah.
And and that fascinates me too, that you have to learn about all kinds of animals, just not a human.
Right.
You have to do dogs, and you have to do kitty cats, you have to do birds, bunny rabbits, whoever comes walking in that office.
Yep. We've had potbelly pigs. We've had pygmy goats. They just come in and.
Yeah, and it's an adventure every day.
It is. It's something new every day. And just when you thought you've seen it all, something else walks in the door.
Walk through the door.
That is sensational. When I was little, that was what I wanted to be when I was a little girl. That was way back in Stone Age. But girls were not allowed to be veterinarians because we weren't strong enough. And then came in the 60s, when women got liberated and all that kind of stuff. And now I think there's more, probably even Stephen maybe that's coming up.
It's more. It's more women.
Is it more women?
Is it
Yeah.
really now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Women.
Yeah, because they said we weren't strong enough. And that was the reason you couldn't be a vet.
But you
Yeah.
work out. I talked to you before the show, and I know you're strong, so.
Yep, I work out.
So did we get
does.
everything out here that we needed to say today? I'm just so thrilled, and I can't thank you enough, both of you, for your time. And I wish you could have said something, because she has the most beautiful smile, and his eyes twinkle.
The only other thing I wanted to say is that we named the blood bank this year. It's now called the Rogan Rexford Animal Blood Bank. And that was named after a French Mastiff named Rogan that was Maureen's dog, who was our first registered blood
I'm
donor
getting these pimples.
and donated gallons of blood, had saved many, many dogs, and he passed away of heart disease last year. So we thought it fitting to name the blood bank after him, and
nice.
How
his legacy
kind.
can live on.
Yeah, forever. You'll hear his name and know he's there, huh? How wonderful.
Yeah.
You're a very, very sweet lady.
Well, gee, your guys are so aggressive.
Yeah.
Yes, vicious,
Well,
ferocious.
I hate to say this,
Oh, look
but it's time to go.
already?
I know. So thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Anytime you have a message that you would like to get across, please give me a call. And now I have to say goodbye. And it always makes me feel sad. And we're going to be in the new year. And don't forget to do your checks with fort number 2014, because I always get mixed up and then checks come back for the New Year's. So I just thought I'd let you know that. And please remember the Humane Societies, all of them, sheets, towels, blankets, anything that you would not send to the homeless, but not good enough, or bad enough to throw away. Send them to your Humane Society. They really need that for puppies and deliveries and all kinds of wonderful things. And like always, I love you. Thanks from all the tail waggers.